What's your favorite character in a game? What is your favorite game? What is your favorite type of game? This is Rakino's Question of the Week. Hey everybody, welcome back to Rakino's Question of the Week. It's a gaming question for those that are new, and for those that are returning, thank you for joining me once again. Every week we go over a question, a gaming type question. It could be a favorite, it could be, most of the time it's a favorite. Sometimes it's one question, sometimes it's two or more. This week it's more of a one question thing. But before I get into the question of the week, I want to, this is the very first reveal of my new intro. So check it out. Alright, wasn't that awesome? Alright, well, I spent a little bit of time on that. I felt like I needed a new intro. That is not for my question of the week intro. That's going to be my normal intro to the other games I do. Unless it's a live stream, which I don't do very often, but I need to start doing more often. So this question of the week this week is, what is your favorite desktop game or board game or stuff like that? I'm going to go ahead and list some of the few out there, and you let me know what your favorite is in the description, or not description, in the comments below. So, is it Life? Now, the board game Life, I love that game. I really do, but I feel like it's very, you can play it like 3 or 4 times, and then you're like, okay, I kind of get the gist how it's gonna go every time. It's not a lot to it. It's more of luck. It's a luck type game. It would be one of your favorites be Headbands, where you put up the card on your forehead, and people have to explain to you what you are without actually telling you what you are or what the object is. That one's pretty fun. That one can be pretty funny because you're just sitting there. You don't even know what's on your forehead. It's kind of like Dick's Last Resort, where they put hats on you. It's a restaurant where you put hats on you and they write obscene things on it. I don't know why I'm sitting here with these people. That'd be one of the examples. But you don't know what it says. But that's one of the rules, is the waitress, and they're rude too. The waitresses and waiters are kind of rude, but they'll come and they'll write something on your head, and you're not supposed to look at it, but you just can laugh at everybody else's. There's some pretty good ones. Let's see here. What else do we got? We have Scrabble, which is a pretty strategy is a strategy type game. For those that don't know what Scrabble is, you got a board with a bunch of squares all over it, and you can put words down, and where you put the words can give you points, and your objective is to get the most points by the time you either run out of tiles, or there's different ways you can play it. But anyway, you're trying to add up a bunch of points with the words that you put down on the table. What else we got? We got Risk. Is it Risk, where you are trying to create world dominance? You're trying to take over the world with your little armies and stuff like that. That's another strategy type game. What about a tabletop game, Jenga, where you have the blocks and you got to take out the blocks, and whoever pulls out the block and the whole thing falls loses. That's a fun one. But I think that one's another one that's fun, here and there, because it's you play it 5 times and you're like, okay, let's play something else. What about Twister? It's not so much a tabletop game. I'm going to add these in there. I'm going to add 2 of them in there. Twister, where you got to spin the little thing, and then you got to put your hand on the color or your foot on the color. It tells you what to do. And then you're all twisted with everybody else. And then what about The Floor is Lava? The Floor is Lava, where it's kind of similar, and you got to hurry up and get to the spot or the color on the ground without touching the regular carpet or ground, and whoever gets there last is out, or something like that. That's how it goes. One of the people's favorite is Monopoly. Now, Monopoly has multiple different versions, so a lot of people love Monopoly. I've never really been a fan of Monopoly. I feel like it takes way too long, although they have a speed version out there. But Monopoly, it just to me is hair pulling, kind of. It's fun though, but it's typically a long game. What other games we got on here? And also, if you want to leave in the comments your favorite board game or desktop game, let me know. There's some pretty cool ones out there. Like, let's see here. There's a Boggle. Oh, why didn't I think of it? This is one of my favorites, Yahtzee. You roll the dice, and you roll the 5 dice, and you try to get, straight or full house. It's like that, but that's a pretty good one. Cranium, Pictionary, love Pictionary, where you gotta draw without telling your team what the thing is, and your team's trying to guess what you're drawing. That's a classic. Charades, I guess, is another one, or they call it something else. Clue, where you're trying to find who killed the person, and you're trying to figure out who the killer is, the murderer. What else? We got Battleship. That was a classic growing up. Now they have the digital ones too. That you just put in the coordinates, and it will make sounds like whether you hit the boat on the other side or not. And you use little pegs to mark, and you're trying to sink all their battleships. That's a good one. I got a tickle in my throat now. There are a ton out now. Like there's, anywhere from Fallout, Walking Dead. There's just all those different spin-offs of shows and movies. I'd more like to stick to traditional ones. What else we got? Okay, we got Goosebumps, the board game. Yeah, there's a Goosebumps board game. There's a Bibleopoly. It's like Monopoly, but with Bible stuff. That's pretty cool. Okay, here's a classic for you. Candyland. Now, it's all pretty much luck. Candyland. We lost a card when I was playing with my son, and we ended up having to write in. We got a little card and made a lollipop out of it, because that's the one that I think we lost, and then we found it. So now there's 2 lollipops in it. Makes it a little bit more fun, actually. Some of these board games I think need revamping. Like, we need to come out with newer versions. I mean, some of them do, but like Candyland, I feel like they could make a way better, make it way better. I don't know how else to tell you. Okay, so there's also like Dark Souls. They have their own board game. Shogun. There's Agamemnon. There's also one that I used to play. There's Game of Thrones out there. There's one I used to play. Seven Wonders. That's not one I used to play. The Catan. The Catan is one that the Settlers of Catan. I might even be saying that wrong, but that was one that they used to. I see all the time. Every time I go to the store, I see that one. I'm like, that looks interesting, and then I read it. I'm like, not so much for me. Okay, so one of them I was gonna try to stay away from because it's not really. It's like more of a card game, but I was gonna say there's a bunch of different card game type different types of card games out there, and I don't want to really dive into the card games so much because there's a bunch of them, and like Cards Against Humanity is one, Exploding Kittens, or whatever it's called. I'm not gonna get into the card games, so just leave me your favorite board game, past, time, present, doesn't matter to me. Let me know in the description below, and if you all like this video, give it a thumbs up. Next week we'll have something new. Actually it's this week because I'm uploading this a day later than I normally would. I ran behind because I was doing some stuff, but never fret, my friends. Remember, don't be ignorant, question everything, you're only human, and God bless, and I'll see you all in the next episode. How many games have you played? What's the scariest game you've ever played? What's the most action-packed game you've ever played? What is the longest amount of time you've ever played a game? Wait a minute. Are we actually in a game?